Hello everyone, it is me, Canner Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're here today with a new video. I've been busy, so I haven't been able to get all the videos out that I would want, but this one is kind of important. The Forbidden and Limited List updates. So, what we're expecting... I apologize, I literally just woke up. But what we are expecting is hits to Psychic. Psychic was extremely dominant in the Go Hard Rush Festival. So we're expecting hits to Psychic. We are maybe expecting some hits to Cyber Dragon. Maybe expecting some hits to Materion. Maybe expecting some hits to some other decks like Void. So, take a look, and let's see what is in the Forbidden Limited List. Okay, Speed Duel changes. You don't care about that. Okay. Alright, Rush Duel, Limited 1. Phoenix Dragon. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This should be pretty interesting for Dragon decks, but the Trap is also a limited one, so I'm not super sure how they're gonna manage to fit it, but let's see. Okay, well, there we go. Limited 2, Dragon's Fortitude. This is the card that I was kind of talking about for Dragon that they would need to have changed for Phoenix Dragon to be able to play with some of the cards that are available. Alright, Limited 3. Star Restart. Okay, Star Restart to 3. That is a good hit for Psychic. For Materion, it doesn't really do a crazy amount. It means that they aren't going to be playing Ghost Cyclone, but Star Restart to 3 is a great hit. Oh, excuse me. Psychic has so many cards right now at Limit 3 that they are going to have to make a really, really tough choice now, especially with Star Restart going to 3 as well. So I think that's a pretty good hit. Star Trancer. Okay, I mean, we've got to be getting something that's getting put to Limited 3 eventually, or pretty soon for this deck, because this makes no sense to me. The deck isn't playing Limited 3 cards, to my knowledge, unless, like, the deck has radically shifted in the last couple days, but yeah. Wow. Okay. Looks like, is this the last hit? Okay, this is the last hit, but Jamp Check is also Limited 3 now. So, that means Star Restart. That means Jamp Check, Ice Pop Bear, what's the name of the 3? The big 3. The one Candy. Wow. Okay. Huge hits. I like these hits. I think they're fine. I think they're honestly super justifiable. So I'm curious to see kind of what is going to be different now for the cards that aren't on the list anymore. There's a ton of cards that could come off. Selfishly, I'm looking for some of the insect stuff to come off, but ultimately I don't think it really matters if it doesn't. Seahorse Carrier. Okay, this deck isn't really seeing play right now in most of the top decks, but this card being at 3 is very interesting. Aqua gets better. They can run Negate Attack again. They can run the limited 2 suite of cards. So I think this is interesting for the Aqua deck, the Bubble Era deck. But I'm not super sure how good it's going to be, that deck. Probably not super great still, but I think this is definitely interesting. It's an interesting first art. Ultimate Flag Mech Acebreaker. Okay. Light Machine was one of the decks that we saw top the top 100, the Goha Rush Festival. But I think this card is completely fine to come off. It is strictly worse than really all of the payoffs to the Light Machine deck, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this card finds its place in the metagame. If it's going to see its way in deck lists or if it's not. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, Greystorm Reverie is coming off. This card's not great, so this is totally fine. Okay, Wilhel the Mega Monarch. This card really has only ever seen play in that Blue Eyes Monarch deck. So I think this is completely fine. This deck isn't super real. This card also totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, Attrashoot Hydron. That's... I mean, the difference between the 2 and 3 isn't, like, absurd for the deck. As we saw, the deck was still extremely playable with this card at 2. It just conflicted with Negate Attack. But now you don't have anything that conflicts with Negate Attack. So they can play Negate Attack now, which is, I think, extremely, extremely huge for the Cybers deck. Sparkheart's Girl. Sure. Necroman the Third is coming off. Okay, interesting. This card has a lot of potential. It hasn't seen a ton of play because it's specifically a level 3 normal monster, which isn't, like, great. But this card coming off of limited 3, I think means that there is more likelihood of a deck being found that utilizes Necroman the Third, and I am very interested to see if we can get this card looking good. Okay, so this is the last card, but Jointech Leo. We were kind of talking about Jointech Leo when it came out. This card, I think, never needed to be at 3, and I think that just goes to show with it coming off basically immediately. So, yeah, I mean, Earth Machine has gotten better, right? They now aren't going to be in a position where Jointech Leo is conflicting with anything, so I think that's actually pretty good. And that is it for the list. Overall, I would say this list was pretty decent. Materian didn't really get addressed. Void didn't really get addressed. Cyber Dragon didn't get addressed, which I think is completely fine. I think all 3 of these decks are fine. I would have liked to hit somewhat to Materian, but I guess Star Restart is a Materian hit if you squint hard enough, even though they don't really have any other limited 3s. It means they just kind of can't be on Ghost Cyclone now, and we'll just go back to the Machine Spell Trap removal. But yeah, Star Transfer, I'm not too sure what the hit is for Star Transfer, but I guess we will potentially see in the future. But the hits to Psychic were great. I think all of the unlimits make sense. The only thing for me is I would have wished if we had more unlimits. There's still a ton of cards on the list that just do nothing, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. That was the Forbidden Unlimited list, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.